We have a My Story today. And I'm going to ask Tom and Nancy to please come forward. Tom and Nancy, please come and share your story with us, please.
I am Tom Ewing. This is my wife, Nancy. She's also my caregiver. My caregiver. I say caregiver because 2 years ago I was diagnosed Sorry.
You're right here. Diagnosed with.
I was diagnosed
Right here, Lewy body.
with Lewy body dementia. My neurologist told us it's a little bit of Alzheimer's and a little bit of Parkinson's. A person with Lewy body gets worse and worse, and eventually needs full-time care.
Right here.
The life expectancy after diagnosis is 5 to 7 years. Lewy body dementia was discovered in 1912 by Dr. Lewy. He worked with Dr. Alzheimer. Even though it was discovered 105 years ago, not many people have heard of it. Half of all the people with a dementia, including Alzheimer's, and have the LBD, the Lewy body. I started experiencing several things that alerted us that something was wrong. Then, after my diagnosis, more and more symptoms were noticeable. I started out having visual hallucinations, seeing people and animals who weren't there. 80% of people with Lewy body experience hallucinations. Sometimes they are terrifying, and others of all the of all the LBD symptoms, the hallucinations can be the worst. Then I discovered REM sleep behavior disorder, where I would walk around the room at night and thrash out of bed and not be aware of any of it. My ability to do math, completely gone. Now loud noises bother me. I can't remember names of people. I'm sorry.
And I forget. Right here.
And I forget what I'm going to say in the middle of a sentence. I can no longer judge distances, so I had to stop driving, which bothered me to this day. It's hard to give up driving. A few years ago, I started crying. When I'd just be talking with someone, it was very embarrassing. After my diagnosis, I learned this is called the pseudo-Bobar effect, and it's not uncommon for people with LBD. Now that I know what this is, I don't feel as uncomfortable about it. There are no medications for LBD. I am on an Exelon patch, which was developed for people with Alzheimer's, and I just started taking the Namenda for memory, which really helped. I am happy to have seen the very first clinic person. I happen to be sorry.
It's okay.
I am happy to have been the very first person to finish the first clinical trial for medication for Lewy body. Soon I'll be participating in another clinical trial using PET scan of the brain. They're starting the new clinical trials for LBD, and more is being written about it because since Robin Williams, he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's. After his death, the autopsy showed the Lewy body proteins in his brain. Because he was so well known, it was thought this would be the perfect time to start a media campaign about Lewy body dementia. A couple of people here at the church encouraged me to tell my story. Even though it's very hard, for me to do this, I decided I would for two reasons. Reason one, to let you know what I have, so you'll understand if I cry while we're talking with you. Or if you ever notice, I no longer have social or conversational skills I once had. And number two, the other reason I'm doing this is because I know I now have a mission. I want to spread the word about Lewy body. I look at this as an opportunity to inform people. I take the LBD booklets with me wherever I go. I give them to people, even medical personnel. And I always ask them to pass it on to one other person. I also suggest they Google Lewy body dementia. It's spelled L-E-B-Y.
L-E-W.
Oh, I'm sorry. L-E-W-Y. To learn about
it. So they. Okay. Just start there.
So they will also be able to spread the word. I have booklets here today for anyone who would like to have one. Please get it after the service. Our prayers go out to all of those struggling with dementia and to their caregivers. God bless them all.
This is Tom's story, but because I'm his wife and caregiver, it is also my story. This is our walk together. We're going hand in hand down an unknown path. But we know something very important. We know that God is with us every step of the way. Yes, we're holding hands, but God is also holding our hands, and He is leading us down the path. We don't know how much time Tom has left, but no one knows how much time they have left. But we feel very blessed because many people have the experience of a loved one dying very quickly. Accident, heart attack, stroke. But God gave us something wonderful. He gave us time. And our neurologist is amazed. He told us in January he should be seeing more of a decline of Tom by this point. He even had Tom tested by a neuropsychologist to make sure he had the correct diagnosis, which he did. But we know the reason. We know it's because of the many prayers and because our precious Lord gave us more time. More time to spend with family and friends, to say thank you, I love you, and for the luxury of being able to say goodbye.
I want to thank Tom and Nancy. What a brave thing to do today, to share your story with us. And just know one thing. This church has been praying for you, and we will continue to pray for you. Stand still. Lord, these two people shared their hearts with the congregation this morning. We do not always understand why things go wrong. But we do live in a broken world where the brokenness will find its way into our life in many different ways. His is now through a health issue. But in the midst of all of this, you tell us you will be there with us because you are leading and taking us to the end. And the road, the journey is not always that fun. But Lord, again, witness. We prayed and you have given more time. And Tom is doing okay. So we continue to ask, Lord, surround them with your love and grace, your healing hand. And Lord, may his journey with a purpose now be one to enlighten and help people understand what this illness is. We ask this in your name. Amen.